Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sunday. We're back in the Blackguard. Seems like we've got Altdorf underway. Ugh. What a crappy talisman. Go away. There. Yeah, so we're currently... What's that? About 38,000 renown short of 71. So hopefully we're going to make a dent in that tonight. I don't know how likely that's going to be with Altdorf underway, but we can give it a go. Doesn't seem to be that many order in the lakes. So I'm kind of hoping scenarios will be going, but we'll see how we get on. Seemingly have fisticuffs over here. Gankers, I'm assuming. But we'll see how it goes. Hope everybody's been having a nice day. The one unfortunate part of it being Sunday, it means tomorrow's Monday. Who likes Mondays? No one. Even if you're off, Mondays are still terrible. If you're off on a Monday, you know, it's better than a regular Monday. Doesn't make it a Saturday. Or even a Friday night. These guys seem squirrely about something. What are they squirrely about? Massive warband of order. Who are somehow catching me. Even though their mounts can only be as quick as mine. Very strange. Oh, there's a classic example of a White Lion's lion doing the fighting. White Lion is, of course, 2 zones away by that stage. Here we have more order. What do we got? I like the fact that there's 3 of them. And they're waiting for their mates to arrive. It's amazing that we apparently have 200 Destro in this zone. And yet the biggest amount of people I've seen so far is order. Well, at least we have a warband guarding the war camp. Thanks, guys. You're doing Charzanic's work. Oh. More order. So it really does beg the question, where are all the Destro? Like, if all the order are here, and the rest of the order are all down here. Is that who I think it is? I get the sneaky suspicion he is an onslaught helmet. This annoys me greatly. I'm literally quite perplexed as to where all the Destro are. Like, I really don't get it. The numbers here would suggest that, like, we outnumber order nearly 4-1. And at best, 2-1. And yet, I don't see those numbers here. I'm very confused. Love how the Archmage is like, nope, not fighting the defensive Blackguard. Oh, I've got backup. I'm still lucky to fight him. I really don't know what's going on in this zone. Like, the only thing I can think of is, like, most of our numbers are just in the war camp. Because this is the most Destro I've seen. There's someone who likes the color red. Oh no. I can no longer queue for Altdorf. Woe is me. We'll leave this and re-queue since they've updated that. Not that I'm expecting it to pop much. It feels like it's going to be one of those nights. Oh! Numbers have drastically changed. Maybe I count as 100 and something people, and because I'm not in the zone, the numbers have drastically increased. I think I'm just going to go to Black Crag. See if we can get something there. Probably should have went to Thunder Mountain, thinking actually. We'll see what state the zone's in. Yeah, I should have went to Thunder Mountain.
Good riddance.
Well, they always seem to get their maximum allotment for cities, so people must do it. Yeah, the sneaky suspicion there's a witch elf here somewhere who's cleared this out. Doesn't even look like there's anybody here. Someone's here somewhere. Give it a bit and see anyway. If not, I might go and do something in tier 1. Scenarios don't seem to be popping at all. Nope. Orders coming here. Must be going to try and do a siege. Pull people out of Prague, probably. Get a fort in a go. And some order supplies. Getting some renown at least. $340% apparently. That's not the levels of renown I was getting for those. 340% is usually about 1,000 and something. What's that? 1,500. That's about right. 400% now, that's why. Poor little me's about to get absolutely hammered. Speaking of which, what's that? Oh, it's 2 ironbreakers. I'll fight 2 ironbreakers. That's cheese, the other one. Didn't even know Chew was online. Living out his order life. A team with no hats. Give up some protection there to rebuild my AP. This is the problem with a fight like this. It takes so long. You're always going to attract others. Give him a wee spank on his backside. Here comes the white lion. Need to get that block up so I can do a knockdown. Got one. I need to get rid of this Slayer now. I need to try and keep an eye on this health of mine as well. I don't want to get too low because they'll just morale me down. The Slayers give up. White Lion's going to get very cowardly very quickly unless he gets help, which he's about to. Well, I give a good account of myself, I think. Unfortunately, Order have no armor. What do they get? It's not even in my history anymore. Gonna have to look at the VOD. See what renown I got for the Bright Wizard. I don't think I got very much. He went down like a sack of spuds, so I think he was quite low level. White Lion I had the beating of. He'd have been dead. I think if the Slayer had stuck around, probably not. But that's Roar for you. You just don't get the time. $87 we're at now. Probably be better giving Revulsion the guard, actually. Oh, once we get in. Or, if they come in. I get the sneaky suspicion I'm running to my death here. I think they're going to go round the back. That wasn't very nice. Yeah, there's Revulsion. Give him this. Where is that warrior priest? Deal with these bright wizards. They're getting heals from somewhere. I'm not sure if it's the warrior. It's that warrior priest. This is where we're going to be in trouble because we don't have the DPS to get through 2 warrior priests worth of healing. Because we've only got healers and tanks. Couldn't save the black orc, unfortunately. Come on, Revulsion, you're the melee. Nearly. Oh, that knockdown really screwed me in getting the kill on that guy. Got one. Pin him in. Oh, he's got my wagon. This is where we have a chance if we just focus our melee. The Witch Elf going and getting those points has kind of bought us a little bit of time. Right wizards look to have ran into the back of our lines there, unsupported, so you get quite handily dispatched by the dock. Like, it's nice of them just to let me constantly keep hitting them in the back. Oh my god, who knocked him back? Idiots. Oh my god, stop knocking him away. This is the thing. Like, I feel like a lot of chosen players learn to play in PvE, and they think that their knockback, which knocks PvE mobs down, does the same to players, but it doesn't. It just knocks people away. And they often do it at the time you kind of want the person to be there in front of you so you can just finish them off. Oh. Are we crashing? I've never had a crash in a scenario before, but it looks like we're about to crash. Either that or I can move out of time. Where the... Okay, I have no idea where he went. Hello, chaps. He got lucky. This has been a good scenario, in fairness. I thought at the very start it was going to be very one-sided, but it's turned out to be quite even. $7K renown's not bad. I apparently had 2 kills. Oh, that's us up to 90%. Let's queue up a game. Hopefully we can get a few more like that. We're outnumbered, and the keep has inner doors about to go down. So I think we're off to Butcher's Pass. Because I get the sneaky suspicion the 25 to 99 destruction who are here aren't in the keep. Just gonna throw that out there. Oh, we've bots. I haven't had bots in a while. Bye-bye, bot. This is the point where we get like another 20 of them in a row. Good old bots. Oh, they've broken the defense already by the looks of things. Yeah. It's gone. Fort time, I think. Unfortunately. That will be the last defense I will ever do. uh, like, I don't know how many people were in there defending, but I've seen far worse. I once tried to defend a keep, and it was me and 3 other people against the red tide. I don't mind giving it a go, but there's no point once they're on the Lord if you've got far fewer numbers and you've already tried a defense and it hasn't worked. Because this is the only place anybody's going to come. And that's the unfortunate part. There is no value to a player to defend a keep. Or indeed a fort. You don't get anything for it. So why should you do it? You could stand in that keep for, say, 15-20 minutes, however long it took for order to get in to attack them. And
You stupid.
if they wipe you and then they take it, you're going to get maybe 1,000 renown. Maybe. You're probably not killing anybody in the interim. And then you come to the fort. You maybe get a zone lock contribution, another couple of thousand. But here's the thing. If you'd, instead of going to the keep to defend it, gone out and taken a BO, maybe hoovered up a couple of order boxes at the BO, you would have had more renown in less time. And now you'd have owned the BO and you could have ran boxes and got even more renown. So there's no real point to defend keep once you're outnumbered, because the AAO basically means that it's actually better for you as a character to go and get a BO. And the same thing's going to come down here to the fort. Like, if there's only 30 or 40 of us defending the fort, we're going to be in here for about half an hour or so. We're going to get very little renown, and you'll maybe get a chance in a bag to get 40 crests. Now, if you really wanted to, you could go and do scenarios if they were popping. You'd probably get more than that in the same length of time doing scenarios. Or you could just go to a different zone and run boxes, and again, you get more renown. So, I think fundamentally, that part of the game is broken, and everybody keeps talking about, oh, we need to get the focus back on objectives, and we need to get the focus back on the campaign. The only way you do that is if you make the campaign and the objectives give the player base more rewards than that they can get any other way. Because at the minute, the primary 2 ways to get all the stuff that you need to advance in this game is to kill other people and to get boxes, either your own or the enemy's. That's it. You do those, you'll level faster than anybody trying to defend a keep, trying to push a zone, or trying to take or defend a fort.
You ain't got the tusks.
I'm still back and forth on my spec. Um, And the reason I am is because at the minute, in a one-on-one fight, or even a one-on-two fight, as you've seen earlier, I'm fine. This spec will do wonders. Um, the problem comes when you're in the likes of a scenario, or you're even in the open world, and there's a healer. As soon as a healer comes into the equation, my spec goes out the window because I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to be able to out-heal a healer's damage. And I'm not going to be able to break through their healing. Now, the way I can change that is I can either go for straight up damage, which is dropping my parry and block chance, and going for hit dumping to get crit and then reduce people's wounds and increase my auto attack speed. Or I go the other way and I lose what is pretty much my main offensive ability, which is enraged beating, and go for debuffs with the likes of Soul Killer and I forget what it's called. It's the thing that allows you to ignore detaunts. And pick up the AP draining ability as well. And again, that then causes another problem because now you've lost your defense against melee and you are pigeonholing yourself to basically only go after healers. And you really need a glaive for that to get the extra damage, since you don't have your damage dealing abilities. Now, you could drop the tank inside of things altogether, which means you're going to dump your increasing toughness and your ranged snare, which will give you quick killing and debuffing and locking healers down, but you've now just removed effectively your main defensive strength and you've become effectively a bad melee DPS. So it's a weird situation to be in. I think the right strategy is going to be getting the offensive tactics and merging it up with defensive abilities. And potentially then looking at something like mixing Warlord and Sovereign, maybe? Warlord gives you a load of strength and a load of weapon skill as your first couple of set bonuses. So that in combination with Sovereign's fairly tanky set bonuses would potentially lend itself to being a kind of bit of both sort of scenario, but I don't know. I'm very on the fence with it because I was sitting looking last night at Warlord, and like there's a couple of pieces of Warlord I could get, and they would be, you know, really positive moves over the pieces that I have at the minute for Invader and Vanquisher. The problem with it is those set bonuses. Strength and weapon skill, if I go for either or, I'm losing wounds and toughness if I replace Invader, and I'm losing wounds and toughness if I lose Vanquisher. So, yeah, you don't really get either, which is a problem. Now, the other side of it is I could go and look at something like Triumphant, which is I think it's the ranked scenario armor set, so it's the equivalent of Invader, but it's the higher tier of level 60 is where its renown rank comes into play. And yeah, I don't know, it's a huge investment for something that's a step down. And that's kind of the problem in it at the minute, because, like, realistically, I'm not going to have the ability to even wear Sovereign for another month, maybe longer, um, depending on how quickly the levels go. And Warlord I can effectively wear right now. I can get 2 pieces of Warlord right now at 70. I'll be able to get 4 pieces, I think, at 71. Um, the problem with Warlord is Warlord's a very offensive set. Everything's geared to attacking. Now, it does have one saving grace, which is, I think it's at 6 piece bonus or something like that, which is a huge investment, is detaunt when you get hit. And it's an AoE detaunt. Now, an AoE detaunt to something as tanky as this guy can be, with those offensive tactics, could be a force to be reckoned with. But again, it's only if it works the way I think it'll work. And I've racing with Invader, because Invader has a... Where is it? Invader. Invader has this 6 piece bonus, Mending Wounds. On block, 10% chance to restore 500 health and 50 action points. I block a lot. Like, huge amount of block. And I've tested it out in PvE. It does not work. It's not giving you 500 HP. And it's not worth the loss of the hard stats of toughness and wounds. So, yeah. I kind of feel like a rock in a hard place. And I'm really not sure which path to take. If I did go the Warlord path, and I hybridized Warlord with Invader, which is probably the way it would go, I'd probably need to invest in just better talismans across the board to try and make up the detriment in hard stats. Which again is something I'm going to do once we get to Sovereign. But I don't know. It's going to be a... Where's this guy? There's one. Where's the boss? Right there. So what's the numbers here? 125 to 100. Why is he running away? Fight them. Literally all the buggers ran away. Jesus Christ. Like, stand it. Like, it's at this point, it doesn't matter if you wipe at this point. You get ported back inside the fort. I, this is the thing I hate. I really, really do hate. They just, they don't want to put up a fight. Like, what difference does it make if you wipe there? Seriously. Give them a bloody nose. Make them think twice about what they're dealing with, rather than just confirm to them that, yeah, it's a bunch of cowardly Destro who's going to run on first sight. Stick to smells. Where did I see? This is my problem. It's like you can't realistically get a good fight in this game at the minute because people are terrified of losing. And like, I know I'm always slagging off white lions because white lions are always running away. But it's an endemic problem. People don't want to lose. People don't want to die. And there's no detriment to dying in this game, right? Worst case scenario is you pay 20 silver for your healer to remove your wounds debuff, right? That's the worst. Like, there is nothing worse than that can happen to you for dying. And yet, you would think the way an awful lot of the players play is if they die in real life or something like that. Because they literally seem to be that terrified of a fair fight. Or even just any fight. Like, you've seen it with the 2v1 versus the White Lion and the Slayer. The Slayer ran. And I think the White Lion was on the verge of running until that warband turned up to save him. Get this guy knocked down. We're just getting mullered here. I don't even think we've got our entire warband. Yeah, ran over. The problem is, it's like, all that's going to happen here, you're going to start to see people dropping off. Because they're going to start going, oh, well, we can't win. I'm going to leave. Where's this guy? I think he's still upstairs. Or he's in the wardroom. Out the back, maybe? I think he's upstairs. Oh, he's over here. Ah, Malefic's here. He's in scenarios with me every now and again. So are we defending Postern or what? Be interesting to see if I'm the only person standing in this doorway. I think we only have 2 other tanks. Both chosen. One of them's not even here, he's distant. Where's he? He's out there. He's outside. The likelihood is here I'm gonna get pulled. I think I'm gonna be the only sorting board here. Here we go. Nobody at postern yet. Shit. Melted. Ugh. A 100 people here apparently, and they melted instantly.
Get over here!
Oh, that was fun. Yeah. Like, this isn't 100 people that's here, so I don't know where the 100 people in the fort are. We'll do some scenarios. See if we can get any. Prague's the only other open zone. Although we're going to be in... What is it? The Shadowlands and Thingamadoodler. Valerian in Shadowlands, is it? Something like that. 91%. The Isle of Renown. Quick reboot after the save to get rid of the lag. Oh, good. So,
Let us bargain.
This is the thing. Warlord gives a lot of this stuff. And like, don't get me wrong, it's good for, you know, it's good for an offensive set. But that's the problem, it's an offensive set. No, it also has a lot of like good defensive things on the actual pieces themselves. But yeah. Oh, Revulsion, I know he's a melee doc. Where is all the fisticuffs? Over here. Come on, guys, fight the healers. Don't fight the tanks. To get the warrior priest. Come on, Tab. Jesus Christ. It's given me literally every person in the entire game but this warrior priest. Oh, I was second overall on the thing. That's a first. Kill me. Don't think I've ever placed so highly in a fort before. Hey, we won. Ooh, 15,000 renown. That's pretty good. No kills. The Sork was enjoying that one. 18. Jesus. Oh god, where's that put us to? 97%. Getting closer. Getting closer. 900 now on our war crest tally. Seems like one of the sieges is just taking forever. Join up for another scenario. Gates of Akron. How much do we need now? 264. What's that? 7,000 or 9? We'll go for the Undertaker. Oh, what are we up against? Dwarfs. Mainly dwarfs. Arm priests and warrior priests. The tankier of the healers. What? No fair. Oh, we're pretty wedged in there tight. Every time I try to knock back one of these dwarfs, they catch on any tiny little piece of bloody terrain. There's one out of the equation. Our problem is we don't have the damage to get through a Rune Priest ceiling. So we'll take him out of the equation instead. Right, this is our chance to have neither healer here. Oh, the Rune Priest's back. This is really just a case of neither side has the damage to get through the other side's tankiness and healing. kill the engineer. We nearly had him. No, let's get in the heels. I blocked it. There's one out of the way. Oh, they've overtaken us. They've gone and claimed all the points. fine up there. We need that witch elf to go and cap their point, otherwise we're gonna, well, we've already lost. We left it too long. $3,800. Not too shabby. I thought we were actually going to do it there for a good part of that, but unfortunately, we just lost the points. 203,000 protection. Oh boy. The server region is shutting down. Hooray. Word crests. Always with the word crests. Oop. Stug. Stuff. No look typing at its finest. Let's see if we can get another scenario in before this shuts down. How much do we need? 3,800. So if we have another scenario like that last one, that'll be us to 71. Hopefully we can get there. We're nearly at 1,000 crestaroonies. So that's something. Let's go to Shadowlands. Server region shutting down. Can I cap a BO before it does? Hey, we did it. I don't know how long it takes a server to shut down. Oh, that's a fancy looking sword. Did I already claim that? I feel like I've already claimed that. That's the thing I was saying the other day. There's so many randomly good looking pieces of gear in different zones, influence rewards, that you just don't see anywhere else. And like, it's a real missed opportunity for a lot of like a lot of different things that get offered elsewhere, because like if you actually go and look at the armor progression for most of the classes, from about level 20 something all the way up to like the early Annihilator Conqueror stuff in tier 4, it all looks pretty much the same. And then there's all of these random things that are just available all over the show, and you're like, why is that not there? Like, why is the progression so small? And then all of a sudden, just as soon as you hit Invader, it's like, here's a bunch of different things. The one problem with the black cards, once you hit Invader, you get the stuff that you could get like level mid-30s or something from influence rewards. That's so bizarre. I don't get it at all. Ah. Pyramid of Citra. What are we up against? So it's 2 tanks versus a healer and a DPS. Robot. Doo-doo. Oh, white lions. And everybody's going for a capture point.
Raven's blessings.
Why are they running away? How rude. Where's the engineer? Hey, 71. I really want to like Sword and Ward Blackguard, but I never feel it like it does enough. It depends what you want it to do, really, in the grand scheme of things. Like, realistically speaking, as a tank that's gonna debuff and protect whoever it's with, it'll do the job really well. If you give it a glaive and you take away the tanky side of it and you throw it more into anguish, it'll realistically do a fantastic job as like a accompaniment to a DPS train. But I really just like the tanky side of it. Probably more because I solo roam. And solo roaming as a blackguard when you're super tanky is a nicer experience than when you're not. For the most part. Yeah, everybody gets something different out of a class. There's no one right way to play something. Who's this? That's our guy. Their guys are over here. But we are of course going to get easy kills, because why not? Ah, Chewy, thank you for the raid count, sir. Hopefully you've had a good stream. Welcome along, everybody. We've just hit renown rank 71. So all is groovy in the land of Zell. And there goes the server. Ah, thanks, bud. Zell was such a fun attempt to jail you today. Yeah. It was too bad the White Lion, Slayer, and the Bright Wizard decided to get involved. But at least they killed the Bright Wizard. And the Slayer ran away. So, that's the main thing. Now we just have to wait for the server to come back. Oh, the fun that we can have. Yeah, I've seen that, bud. Although you didn't have to if you didn't want to. It's all renown at the end of the day. Ah, thank you very much for the follow. It's very kind. Just have to wait for this thing to come back online, and then we can actually go and see what we can do at 71. Because I have been agonizing over the prospect of maybe getting some Warlord gear. But I don't know. These things usually only take about 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm hoping it's just 5 minutes. We honor the dual code. Well, at least somebody does. That's the main thing. How's the renown been treating you? Oh, they said around 10ish. Okay. Hopefully you were able to get something done. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm looking at it. So I've been sort of running through a couple of different specs over the last couple of days, trying to change things up from just pure tank. And the closest that I found so far that still kind of remains tanky but gives me some good damage is a mixture of loathing and malice. Only I'm dropping my parry and block tactics for the crit increase and wounds debuff and auto attack increase. But yeah, I don't know. You see, the problem with it is that the set bonuses on Warlord for a couple of pieces are basically strength and weapon skill, which, while fine, it's going to play into the wheelhouse of what I'm looking for. It basically means I'm going to drop a whole chunk of wounds and toughness. Now, there's a few pieces of Warlord that have actual stats on them that are kind of tanky, which would probably work out quite well as a substitute, but I really don't want to be dropping below 9k wounds as a tank. The toughness side of things I can live with a bit better because I can make up a good chunk of that if I just change out some talismans, but yeah, I'm just not sure. I never know with this as well whether I need to go in now. Oh, there it is. It's come back. Or at least I think it's come back. We're handshaking. I think we're back. On my Armbreaker R has been okay. On my Blackguard it's going horrible. Yeah, I remember when it was going horrible on my Blackguard, so it might be an idea to wait out till Defensive Sovereign. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I am waiting for the Sovereign side of things. It's just more of a case of like the likelihood is I'm not going to go full Sovereign. I'm going to hybridize it with something. So it's a case of whether I hybridize it with Warlord or potentially the other Sovereign or Invader or something else. I don't know. I'm still doing the whole back and forth and reading up on the different things. Because the other thing I need to do is I need to upgrade my shield at some point, which is going to be a huge chunk of crests. And I don't particularly want to do it at the minute because the difference it's going to make is not going to be huge. So yeah, I don't know. Like, we're doing okay on the crest front. We're up to 956. Each piece of sovereign's about 1,000 or something like that, I think. A good bit more. So yeah, I reckon I'm going to be about a month before I can wear any sovereign. So I've got a little bit of time on my hands. Any shields from the dungeons you might want to get? I don't know. The shields in the dungeon are actually less block than the one I have at the minute, which is the Genesis one. I don't know what the procs are like on them. I think they're the same, actually, as this. So the proc on this one at the minute is like a 3% chance for a shield. But the ones in the dungeon, I think shield steal a little bit of life and deal a little bit of damage or something like that. I can't quite remember, but I remember that their block chance, instead of being 400, it's like 390 or something like that. So yeah, it's an awkward one. Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like I can't quite wrap my head around it because you would expect the defensive stuff for PvE for a tank to be better, but like it seems to be in PvE the offensive stuff is better. So like I'm really not sure what the mindset was for that. But again, it's the same thing. Like the likes of my sword, like that has better stats than the upgrade of it, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. ROR and its weird quirks. Yeah. I don't know. It's just it's really bizarre how some of the things are laid out. Like that renown weapon. Like I would expect that to be on the actual upgrade, and then what's on the upgrade to be on that. But no, doesn't seem to be. And then it's the same like the Genesis sword. It has a proc on it, but the proc on it's something really random. It's like on hit, 5% chance or 3% chance to deal 300 damage to the person you're attacking. It's like it's great and all, but like that's nothing in the grand scheme of things. Like that's not going to add up to anything. Like a blackguard's not going to be doing enough hits on someone to make it worthwhile. Whereas the likes of say a witch elf, if it was the same proc on like a witch elf stagger that's like 1 point something seconds, you know, that makes more sense. But yeah, I don't. It's just it's weird things like that. I would prefer to have like a sword or a shield similar to what the glaive has of you know on being hit chance to increase your defensive stats or something like that. It would make a lot more sense, considering that's what you're effectively looking for as a defensive tank. Something that irritates me as a tank, and sorry for the slightly off topic, why the hell does the root and snare cleanse not make you immune for a few seconds like all of the others? Um, I thought it did. Does it not? No, it just removes them. Okay. Oh, there's a brightly coloured marauder. Wow. um, yeah, I thought it did. Unless it's just it relies purely on the immunity timer for whatever rooted or snared you. Because it's the one thing that always annoys me is if you're running along and an archmage puddles you, and you use this to sort of clear it as you're moving out of it. Guarantee you always click it too soon, and then you're still in it, so it re-snares you again, which is really annoying.
What can I do for you?
So yeah, I can get like 4 pieces of Warlord now if I wanted it. See, that's pretty good. That would be an actual buff for my defensive stats. Like 2% parry, 40 hit points, and then whatever the talisman is in toughness over the top, and the wounds. The problem is, in order to wear it, I'm going to be losing 80 toughness and 73 wounds. And the only gain I'm going to get is 75 strength. So, you know, um, I'm nearly at 800 toughness anyway. So the toughness isn't as big a loss as it would be because obviously you're going to make more of it back with the increase in the stats on the actual piece. It's the loss in wounds is the big one for me. Because I really want this going in the opposite direction. I want this going to like 1,000. I've never actually looked at the off-sovereign one to see what its stuff is. See, its strength and wounds as well. So this one, which is the one I'm going for anyway, is the only one that's actually going to offer me decent stats. Like 80 wounds, 88 toughness, great. 6% block, great. Reduction in being critically hit, great. Path of Loathing, great. Gives me 2 more points I can spend somewhere else. 10% chance to increase parry block, again, great. I don't know what leading the charge is. I think it's like a speed boost or something. But like, realistically speaking, you're probably going to hybridize this with something. You're not just going to go full sovereign. So, yeah. I just don't know. And like, I'm not going to be able to wear this to like 75 and 76 is going to be the first pieces. Which is going to be what? Let's say... What's that? It's going roughly 300... Let's say it's going to be roughly 300,000 each time. It's going to be about 1.2 million renown to get to that point of wearing the first pieces of it. And I'm not going to get 1.2 million renown quickly on a defensive black card. Which is the thing, because realistically, I've got around about, like, let's say, charitably, 900 crests in the length of time it's taken me to go from 70 to 71. So let's say, for sake of argument, that progression continues. Like, the crests are going to be there for it. Well, for part of it, at least, anyway. But, yeah... I don't know. That's a difficult decision. It wasn't until this game that I realised how actual physical size makes a difference for tanks in PvP RVR. Not always, but sometimes you catch someone who reflexively clicks on the big thing in their face. Yep. The other thing with it is as well, if you look at the size of a black orc, put that on like a postured door. No one's getting through it because of the collision. Whack a couple of them in a keep door, same thing. Like, I was trying to defend the fort earlier, and I was literally standing in the postern door, and I filled it, and I'm just a skinny blackguard. Yeah. Really, really big. And then, that's the thing. The Black Orc by itself is huge. You put its shield in, and it's, like, massive. Because, like, the shields that most of the Black Orcs have are just immense. That's the one shield there that I quite liked. But I get the sneaky suspicion that armor increase doesn't stack with a potion. That one I don't get the point of. A 2% chance to deal 450 damage over 9 seconds. Like, if it was like, say, 12%, 15%, I'd say, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. 2%? No. 3% chance to get a bubble. Same as this one. But the block rating's not as good. Doesn't even have percentage block in any of these. Which is the other thing. Same thing with the swords. Like, that's not a good sword. That's a spear, that's a spear, that's a spear. That's not a good sword. On being hit, 5% chance to get 45 AP. It's not bad. Like, AP is a good thing to have. Toughness is high, which is good. No wounds, no reduced armor pen, no reduced chance to crit, no health per second. That side of it's not very good. They're just using postern doors they stole from other keeps as shields.
Best
Probably true, actually. Not a black orc. Um,
and one
yeah, that's the, there's just not. There's not any good shields or swords about. Is the problem, and it's the same thing with this. Like, I can't even upgrade this because my like, well, you wouldn't go for one of those shields anyway because like it's slightly better block. You're getting a bit of parry, or you're getting some disrupt, but yeah, that is not as good as the one that's already there. It's just not. Like, it's worse toughness. Wounds are ever so slightly better. You're losing the hit point regen. The 2% chances are the same, and instead you're getting strength. Like, you don't need strength. Like, you're not dealing damage. And then the other two are just pure melee DPS swords. So it's like, there's no point to any of them. Exactly, that's just to be a rowboat. This door kept me out for a long time. It'll be a great shield. That really should be like a wee flavor text on some Black Orc shield. This door kept me out for a long time. It must be great.
no.
Oh, could you imagine? I don't even know if you can get like a. Because I know there's like influence things in the dungeons. I don't know if there's like a good sword or shield you can get from them, maybe. I wonder. I'll buy a scroll for Bastion's there, because that should pop up an influence thing when you get to it. There's our multicolored marauder again.
What do you need?
Bastion's there.
Can you buy something else?
Don't know what they're doing to that crystal. Apparently my guys just give up on the animation. It's a great piece of artwork. Very, very Warhammer. I've been loaded into instance. Good ID. Oh, we've lots of people in here. So this guy will tell me. So we can get a Bloodlord Edge, which is terrible as a sword for a sword and shield blackguard. We've got the Bloodlord Glaive, which is it's kind of okay if you want to go melee nut job. Bloodlord Aspis, same thing. Why would you want that on a shield? That makes no sense. And I'm more of the same. Awful. Absolutely awful.
Plunder bought and sold. Use it well.
Like, I get it fits with the idea of corn, but like, no, just no. Not a fan of those, I must say. The art in this game holds up amazingly well given how old it is. Yeah, that's the thing. It was the one good thing that they did when it came to the design of this game is they got the Games Workshop art guys to do all of the concept art for it. And like I have the collector's edition of the game. It's actually sitting beside me here, and there's an art book in it, and it has all of those concept art pieces through it, and it's just stunning, like really, really stunning. And the thing as well, like, if you go and read the actual story. So if you read through these little snippets here, this is actually written by one of the authors, one of the Black Library authors from Games Workshop. I think it was Mike Lee did it. It was Mike Lee or Graham McNeil. It was one of the two of them. Basically, one of the really good authors at GW. And like it shows if you ever read through any of it, it's like some really good stuff for basically what is flavor text at this stage. Really, really good. And that's the thing, there's so much in this game that's just under the surface that's been really well thought out and really well put together, but just never really ever gets looked at because most people probably don't care or don't know it's there. But yeah, so that's us at 2 hours, guys. I ain't going to call it a night there. We've hit 71. We've done some scenarios. There wasn't that many, unfortunately. We tried a fort defense that didn't really work. And yeah, we're slowly making our way. That would be me. I don't read the flavor text. I have no excuses. I'm a bad person. It doesn't make you a bad person. But now you know it's there, you can go and read it. Get all excited about the lore of Warhammer. Thank you all so much for coming along and watching tonight. It's been good to have you all here. I'm going to have a wee look and see if there's anybody else streaming or not. We'll do a wee raid. Who have we got? Let's see. We'll go for this one. They were doing clips on my channel the other day, so they must watch. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming. Thank you for watching. It's been great to have you all here. Thank you very much again for the follow, Gizbit. It was good to have part of a duel with you earlier, but hopefully I'll see you in the lakes again at some time. Thanks again for the raid, Chewy. Always a pleasure, good sir. But until tomorrow evening, I shall say to you, I hope you have an enjoyable rest of your day. I hope you have a nice day tomorrow, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night. But until then, take care, all the best, and see ya. Bye.